Hey everybody, Unstable Gamer here, and welcome back to Disney Sorcerer's Arena. We just got some information dropped just now on information on the raids that are coming. It's a dev Q&A, and we're going to go ahead and jump into that dev Q&A and take a look at it really quick. But first, before we do, if you're just now finding this channel and you want to stay up to date with this and other games, consider hitting that subscribe button so you don't miss out. All right, and welcome back. Before we jump into all of this, just a couple of reminders. All the links to my social media are in the description of every video, so definitely check it out there. Join us on Discord, where we're talking about the game and sharing tips, tricks, and strategies. Also, there's a new link in the description below. If you would like to support the channel and you want to play this game on PC through BlueStacks 4, feel free to use that link there. By doing that, it does support the channel. Also, I stream 3 days a week. In the month of October, it's Mondays, Fridays, and Saturdays. On Fridays, we have Fright Night streams, which is a lot of fun. All right, so with that out of the way, there are a lot of questions here in this Q&A. Questions are asked about why you used Ursula. They just felt her being an iconic villain in the game or in the Disney universe, and being able to recreate some of those things from the show in the game, I think would be cool, kind of like her coming out and trashing the ship. I can't wait to see what that looks like in the game. A bunch of other questions here about timing of raids and stuff like that, but a couple things that I really wanted to focus on here is how many times a week do you expect a top tier club to attempt the highest level of the raid? So there are going to be different difficulties here. So a lot of what I'm reading here reminds me of Marvel Strike Force raids, where you have different levels. You have an easy, medium, and hard, depending on the power level of your club, which I think fits very, very well, because then everybody has an opportunity to jump in the raid. It's just not this exclusive thing out here or game mode that is only for the elite of the game, right? So different game modes, I think that's going to be cool. How will raids be launched? It says clubs will have an item that is earned by the club's members throughout various game modes. So if you're familiar with Marvel Strike Force, as you're completing quests and things like that, you're collecting keys. You're collecting keys, and once you hit a certain number of keys, then the leader of the club can go ahead and initiate that raid. Now, each level of raid requires, I think, if I remember correctly, more and more keys. However, when those raids are available, it is going to tell you how many keys you're going to need, whatever it ends up being in this game, how many you're going to need in order to launch that raid. Now, by doing that, Raid is very much a club-centric game mode, especially in this format here. So everybody needs to do their dailies. Everybody needs to do everything that's required to collect those keys if you want to do those raids as often as possible. If it takes you a week to collect those keys, then you're only going to be doing it once a week. If you can collect those keys daily or every other day, you're going to be able to launch that raid more and more. Now, we'll learn more once this is in the game and how often we're going to be able to do it. However, that's what it's sounding like to me. Now, here's the hard requirements here they're talking about. Let's see. Are there any hard requirements for the raid? Yes. Now's a great time to work on increasing the star rarity of your collection, so you have many team compositions at the ready. So basically, it kind of sounds like this might be a node versus a boss raid. So you're going to have a team of characters that you're going to go ahead and take into a node. You battle that node. Once you're done and you defeat it, you go to the next one. And it's kind of like this grid-based thing all the way up to the boss at the top, which in this case is going to be Ursula. So we'll see kind of what that does. There's going to be multiple difficulties of the raid as well. So that's kind of what I was talking about before, so that every club can go ahead and take advantage of raids and the rewards that come with those raids. Let's see, are there any characters that have benefits? Yes, we already know in the game that we have Prince Eric, King Triton. They both have abilities specifically that calls out extra benefits in raids, so definitely want to take a look at that. Obviously, we don't have everybody, but the synergies that you create within your team is going to do you well when you run through the raid. Let's see, does character health persist in the raid? It says, generally speaking, a character will either emerge victorious or will have done as much damage as possible to a raid boss before becoming defeated. If a character successfully escapes from a raid via a new mechanic within raids, their health will be persistent, which means it will not regenerate. Now, people, you can leave. It does say that you can leave a raid. If you jump out of a raid, if you forfeit a raid, then you're going to forfeit that attempt. So you're only going to have a certain number of attempts per day. So that means in my experience here with Marvel Strike Force specifically, you have raid specific energy. You can go through as many notes as you can until your energy is depleted. So by them saying here, by forfeiting, that removes an attempt, you're either going to have a set number of attempts that you can do for each node, or it's going to be energy based. So we'll see what that looks like. All right, the next one here, will raids have multiple tiers gated behind star levels or other? Yeah, the current thinking is yes, each tier will have a certain requirement in it to encourage bolstering up one's collection. So easy, medium, and hard. If you take a look at that way, you're going to have a set of requirements to meet for each one of those, so that you can go ahead and enter that. Another question, is Ursula going to be a playable character? Yes, Ursula is going to be a playable character. And if she is a raid character, then she's got to be massive. She's got to be awesome, right? So it says Ursula will have some devastating powerful abilities to match the effort to attain her, which is awesome, because if you're going through all the effort to run through a raid to unlock a character, she better be good, or he better be good. Whoever it is, right? Better be good, because it's a lot of effort and a lot of coordination by club leaders and a lot of interaction from the club members to make this happen and get through the raid. So that's very cool. She definitely takes matters into her own tentacles in battle. Rather than spoil the fun, we can simply say to hang tight and review her character details once she's available in the game. And just the last few right here. So do you believe the rewards from the raids will justify the resources and time needed? Yes, absolutely. That's the whole point. How often will rewards for raids change? So when you're going in there, basically what they're saying here is when you go into the raid, you know what your rewards are going to be. You know what you're fighting for. So depending on how much of the raid you complete, so in Marvel Strike Force specifically, you had different tiers of rewards based on how much of that raid that you completed. So there may be something like that in here. They also mention here, will reward drops be static, or will there be a random component? And they say there will be a random component to some of the faction or attributes of gear materials, whether you get a downtown villain or Kingdom Illusion, for example. Kingdom Illusion, what is that? Kingdom, yeah, but Kingdom Illusion? But the amount of rewards will be very static. You won't be guessing on whether you'll get 2 Dream Fragments or 20. So again, depending on kind of how they have it set up, by how much of the raid that you've got completed or whatever, you know what you're going to get, so you can plan appropriately when it comes to the progression of your team. Also, will there be runes to be gained in the raids at this time? No, not right now. The development team's excited for you to get your hands on the raids, though, and cannot wait to hear feedback. So as soon as we get our hands on these raids, as soon as we get some experience in there, I can't wait to see the kind of feedback. I can't wait to see what the raid looks like. I can't wait to see kind of how it feels, you know? So this is information that just dropped. There's a ton in here. We didn't go through absolutely everything, but I wanted to hit some of the highlights and just comment on some of the experiences I've had in other games when it comes to raids. And this is sounding a lot like what Marvel Strike Force has for games. All right, everybody, that's what I had for you. What questions do you have? What do you think about this? And are you excited? All right, everybody, as always, I want to thank you all for taking the time to watch the video. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button and share your thoughts and questions in the comment section below. Take care, everybody, and we'll talk to you next time.